This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook live show. It is Monday, 7-game DraftKings main slate. Grande had your playbook for today. That is live over at Fantasy Alarm. We've had some injury news that we've been waiting for this afternoon to come out. Cam the Man correctly pops in here saying that the DraftKings intern should be fired with some of these prices. That's certainly a storyline that we will get into for today as well. Grande, how we doing, man?
Doing well. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Monday is here indeed. Appreciate all of you guys who tune in each with us every day, supporting the preview show, supporting the live show. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. A free way to support all the work that we do here. Of course, if you do want to become a member of the Fantasy Alarm family, we do have the 50% off all pro promotion still going on. It's fantasyalarm.com/YouTube, promo code YT50. $19.99 for the first month there. Access to everything on site, all pro content, betting, DFS, seasonal tools, all the good stuff there for you guys. Grande, like I said, you got 4 guys up over $10,000 tonight. Giannis and Cade, SGA, and Maxey for tonight. Any feelings on Cade Cunningham? Do we think we're going to get Cade in and out of the lineup today?
Per some video this morning, he was at shoot around, but not participating.
Okay.
But that was what the media could see. So we don't know what he was doing pre-media. There were some weird starter jerseys as well that did not include Asar Thompson, who was participating in shoot around. So we will see. But it did not look like Cade was participating, although he was there. So I don't have a lean. If you made me pick a side, I'd say he doesn't play.
Okay.
I have listed him in the playbook as if he was going to, because why wouldn't I include Cade against the Pacers if he does? But yeah, he was seen at shoot around in these videos that Detroit media has posted. Duran was seen participating. Asar was seen participating. So like those are things we can be like, oh, that's good.
Feels good, yeah.
Cade, not so good. But still time to go. You know, does he sit the same day he announces a massive new mega deal with Nike?
Right.
We'll see.
You flash the new shoes. I guess we'll see there.
Yeah.
All right. So Cade is 11K. You have SGA in a game where we looked at it last night. It was 17.5. Still 17.5 over on coverage right now. 10-8 for him. Maxey 10-5. Paul George expected to make his season debut tonight. They're 5.5-point home favorites against the Clippers here this evening. You have Harden at 99, Ball at $9,800. If you just take, I guess, the top 5 point guards on the slate, how inclined are you to spend up at this position today? Because it is not a spot that many people are spending up for.
I will only comment on that if we not only talk about spend ups, but our likes also go up. So if you're in the chat right now, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube, all that good stuff.
There's 76 of you currently watching the show on YouTube, which means we should at the very least have 76 likes.
Right.
Yeah?
I agree. So top 5. So Cade, if he plays, is elite. This spot against Indiana, they're one of the worst teams in the league at allowing points in the paint. We know what Cade is. He is a monster. With just Tobias Harris off the floor this year, 3% usage bump, 36% usage, 1.6 essentially fantasy points per minute. Literally just a dominant basketball player. He leads the NBA in touch time. So per game, the ball in their hands the most, it is Cade Cunningham, number 1 across the whole league. He has the ball in his hands more than any other player in the league. So if he plays, Cade is number 1 for me. Number 2, and it's a very tricky spot, but I think it's pretty definitively James Harden for me.
Okay.
And the reason I say it's tricky, not that I don't think Harden's going to play, because I think, like, as we've seen in the last handful of games, he is a dynamite. Like, I just want to be out there playing as much as I can in the regular season player. Like, for all these postseason struggles that James Harden has had throughout his career, this man gets it freaking done in the regular season. He has had an amazing stretch outside of that Denver game. And, like, the minutes are as good as anybody else in the league. The production has followed suit. We're getting, like, oh, what's that? Like, James Harden triple double nightly is a nightly threat again. Like, okay. So, like, this game, if you're just looking at it from a Vegas standpoint, could possibly be the worst. It's a 220 total. But then you factor in, like, okay, Philly's actually been worse than league average defensively. The Clippers are shorthanded as all shorthanded could be. Like, their secondary rotation pieces are hurt.
I was
Like,
gonna say we were ready to play Boggy, and he might not even play tonight. So
Derek Jones just got dinged for 6 weeks. Him and Jordan Miller, who were replacements, or Miller was a replacement to the replacement. He's out. Could be no Bogdanovic. We know the Beal stuff. I think Harden's in a fantastic spot. So that would probably be the next guy after Cade, or the first guy if Cade doesn't play in this tier. Like, of course you can get the SGA. He doesn't need a full complement of minutes to get you there. But at 10-8, we need a ceiling. Hasn't really flat, like, it's just capped if he's playing 29 minutes again. Maxey, definitely think it's viable without Embiid. We didn't really see Embiid impacting Maxey. Can't think Paul George is going to do that at all.
Yeah, limited, probably Paul George.
Yeah, limited Paul George. And then LaMelo, I mean, he got benched at the end of last game. There was videos of him just looking obviously mad that he got benched, but Sion James can defend. So if that's the direction they go, then that's scary to pay 9,800. If we get ceiling LaMelo, then great. But Toronto's defense has also been incredibly good after starting off incredibly bad. They're now in the top half in the league in defensive rating. So yeah, I think it's Cunningham and Harden for me with pretty definitiveness there.
As it stands now, Harden's the only guy up in this range getting over 10%. Realistically, nobody but the value tier is getting over 10% today. So it's all kind of spend downs. Obviously you get into the 5K range. There's a lot of guys that we could be looking for. Dennis Jenkins, if and when eventually Cade Cunningham gets ruled out, would be someone we probably take a look at. Both Knicks, Jordan Clarkson and Miles McBride, Davion Mitchell are your 10% higher roster plays for today. Where are you when it comes to this next group? Then I guess, like, are you spending up on a Quickly or a Nembhard or something like that today, or are you just diving into the value like everybody else?
Yeah, we'll spend some time here and then we'll touch on, because there's obviously a lot of value plays. Like, my opinion hasn't changed on Quickly and basically Toronto. They have the highest implied team total of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's playing any Raptors. And it's mainly because nobody knows who to play on a nightly basis.
Sandro. Yeah.
I mean, Jakob Poeltl is really the answer. The answer is really just Jakob Poeltl.
I did a couple of underdog drafts today. Battle Royals. Poeltl's my last pick in both drafts, round 5.
He has just been as consistent as anyone on this team, at least from like night to night production. You can make that argument. Quickly, of their like big 4, I'll just exclude Poeltl from that equation for a second. Like the Ingram, Quickly, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett foursome. Quickly is the lowest usage player of the four. He's over a fantasy point per minute, but like the usage doesn't look great. But we know he has a ceiling. He is good in multiple facets. Bigger guard, can do a lot of really good things. He's good defensively. And so like, I don't hate quickly in large field stuff. He plays solid minutes, is obviously in competitive games. Like the minutes he's kind of been hurt by blowouts lately, like hasn't played full minutes. So I like quickly, don't love him. Nembhard is another tricky one because he's underpriced if Matherin isn't there, and he's probably appropriately priced or a little too expensive if Matherin is there.
Yeah.
Because the role for Andrew Nembhard has just been dominant. Dude, I wrote this in the playbook just for context. Yeah, I've been diving into like who's been on the ball more and like touch time during games and stuff. He averages more touch time than Donovan Mitchell, John Morant, Paolo Banchero, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards. Andrew Nembhard.
Who else would you want touching the ball in Indiana, right? Like
Andrew Nembhard. Well, Pascal's there. Dude, he's averaging SGA, who's playing without Jalen Williams.
Sure.
The league MVP, finals MVP, scoring title, reigning like.
Well, if Nembhard had AJ Mitchell, he might pass the ball off.
Sure. I'm just saying, like, that guy, without Benedict Matherin is a stud. But I lean Matherin playing. This is the first time he's been questionable. We'll see, right? And
Matherin, if getting full minutes, is a 20-shot guy.
And Matherin, we saw the first two games what Ben Matherin's going to be. Like he is taking this opportunity with no Halliburton and being like, hey, Jonathan Kuminga, this is how you were supposed to do it. Going on your next,
go get your next contract.
That's how you're supposed to do it. So tricky. We'll know at least what the Matherin status. That game's at 7. But yeah, nothing like definitive in this tier that I like want to play. Yeah. You were right, but like with Dennis Jenkins. But Dennis Jenkins is a zero at this price if Cade plays. Like,
of course. And honestly, if Dennis Jenkins plays, Cade's out, but like Duren and Thompson are back, like that probably hurts him at least a little bit, right? Like Duren's in a monster spot tonight.
Yes.
Just if he, assuming he's on the floor, and you said he's probable, so in practice.
Yes, probable, went through shoot around, all the things, like was seen participating in shoot around. So like there's no reason to think he wouldn't play. On the Jenkins front, like I do agree that it hurts. Dude, some of his like potentials and stuff were kind of like, oh, we're just putting Cade Cunningham
just
on the floor again.
Put his jersey on, basically. Yeah.
Like he's just not a 6'6" Cade Cunningham. It's just like a smaller, like faster, like more fleet of foot.
Cade got the Cunningham. Like Mike, put his shoes on and all of a sudden,
dude, he's been awesome. So like I get what you're saying. Asar and Duren back hurts, but
Asar less. Duren, I feel, because Duren had a really high usage rate.
Yeah, we saw last year, the Bickerstaff like encouraging him to grab rebounds and literally take the ball up the floor himself. Mm-hmm. And but I do think Jenkins would be in play if Cade were to sit.
100%.
But let's talk about all the currently chalky value point guards because they're all chalky.
So Clarkson's 52. DDV's 55. McBride's down here at $4,300. McBride is the highest of that group for the pricing reason, obviously. Bogdan, if he plays, is 41. He is also right up there, but it's like 40+% going to McBride, 25% going to Clarkson. We talked about on the preview show, we kind of would have leaned, even though the pricing is a significant difference, Clarkson for the upside over McBride here. Say Cade gets ruled out. Like, where does Dennis versus Clarkson rank for you?
I would play Dennis if he was starting. Because I'm like very confident that Jordan Clarkson doesn't start.
Sure.
Just with how they have deployed Landry Shamet, right? Like they just give Landry Shamet starts when people are out. That's just kind of that is excluding his outburst. They just give him starts. That was pre 30-point second half, right? I would go Jenkins, but like Clarkson, it's been a solid role, not as good as I'd hoped, but no Brunson, OG, like 21% usage, about a fantasy point per minute. Obviously, the pace is tremendous. Pace of spot for the Knicks is tremendous. They have one of the highest implied team totals. When you look at his the popcorn machine for this game, it's hilarious. Like Jordan, they just played like 5.5 guys in the second half. McBride was the half. Like McBride didn't close, Clarkson did, and obviously Shamet and the other like Bridges, Towns, Josh Hart. They literally played like 5.5 guys. They barely played Mitchell Robinson in the second half. So if you're just assuming that Mike Brown's okay going smaller rotation, that's one thing. It was a cup game. That's something, right? Like to factor in. I'm good with Clarkson. The McBride one is tricky. And it's not tricky, obviously, from an ownership standpoint. Like
half the field's playing him. So
half the field's playing him. He's just really bad per minute guy. You know, like
this isn't like 70% of the field playing Shaden Sharp last night. You know, this
And now, you know, maybe the small sample isn't fair enough because like you can do we'll do both exercises right here.
Mm-hmm.
Small sample this year, no Brunson, no OG. 60 minutes. So it's like nothing, right? 0.67 fantasy point per minute player, a little less than 16% usage. In that same scenario, obviously unable to, I'm not like siphoning out like guys that were on the team last year or not. McBride and without Brunson and OG is a since last year 0.87 fantasy point per minute player, 0.86. So like at 30 minutes, that's fine. 0.86. There's not a high ceiling at that number if you were just to factor in, but like he's 50% rostered tonight at a guy who's never really given you like is a good real life basketball player. And the price is in a pace up spot. Like all those things are really good. But I don't know, man. It's not like a comfortable roster for me. I get it if you're just looking for value at $4,300 and that's the direction you go. But let's just not forget who Miles McBride is. And plus, like he hasn't been extended past 30 minutes. This is not the same coach that has extended him endlessly, right? In the past, like Mike Brown is not Thibodeau, clearly. Nope. So it is something to obviously factor in. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm just kind of indifferent about McBride. Like Bogdanovich is kind of similar in that light. I think another player that doesn't really have like great ratios this year with guys off the floor, specifically Kawhi Leonard and Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
The minutes have been tremendous, but you know, this is a guy with a long injury history popping up on a second leg of a back-to-back on the injury report. Like you definitely don't love that. So
and a guy that we've gone to the well with like a bunch over the course of his career. And he just like, you know, he's come through at times and it feels like we've been burned more often than not than playing like a chalky Bogdanovich in the lineup when guys are out sort of situation there.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm not going to like look at it necessarily that way. Cause like if he's starting and playing, if you told me he was playing 35 minutes, then I don't care really what he is a guy that I know has a ceiling and also has a floor. I think I put a tweet out last year that he's the worst player in the NBA. Someone changed my mind. And like, that was literally last year.
Yeah.
But if he's with how shorthanded they are already with down, like Beal and Kawhi out, Miller out, Derek Jones out, you know, I do think Bogdanovich is definitely.
We got the Cade officially game time decision tweet. So
wonderful. Such good confirming news.
You know. Anybody else here that you're interested in? DiVincenzo, Brandon Williams getting some ownership there. Davion, as we kind of highlighted a little bit as well. And then some guys in the same range that aren't getting as much. Jeremiah Fears is down there. Mostly just Fears.
I mean, I think the thing you have to factor in with Fears is I understand that it's a really tough spot. And OKC's defense is once again like historically good. But we saw yesterday he closed in a blowout. So, like if you end up on Jeremiah Fears, it could end up working out pretty well. He's really, really high usage. We don't necessarily know if Zion's playing or not at this point. Trending obviously in the right direction, but we don't know. He's going to start. Fears is going to start the game, and also in a blowout, 17.5 point dogs close. So there's a lot to like there.
Yep, I agree. Davion's up to 4th for ownership today.
Very solid play. Just good, consistent, workman-like attitude. Clocks in, clocks out. Couple minutes before work, couple minutes after work. Right? Doesn't ask for overtime. Just real workman-like attitude. Who thinks the Knicks are better off without Jalen Brunson, and he's out of his mind. But he is we've said it every slate. We've had comments every slate. Davion's boring.
Yeah.
25 fantasy points or more every night. Like just what he is.
Guys, I just want to let you know, we do see all the questions in the chat. A lot of you guys are asking about centers. We'll get to them as we get to the center power forward position with some of these, Mamu or Sissy, obviously Pirtle, Diabate. So we'll get there. I appreciate everybody who's tuning in though. Just quickly giving some shout outs. Cam the Man obviously was in here earlier. Extra QT. Josh wanted to know about Kobe Sanders. If Bogey sits, we can talk a little Kobe Sanders here in a second here.
We will.
Lose it till I win the Millie, Justin Jennings, Anthony was at the Celtics game yesterday. I love that. Gabriel asking about the situation there as well. So we appreciate all the support from you guys that are in the chat. Special Master of Documents was number 40. Like number 40. Let's get the likes up. Hit that like button, everybody. It's free to do. Steve, always in the chat with us here.
That name is amazing. Special Master of Documentation. That's great.
Coach Chris, we'll talk to the value centers there in a second. Deeks likes Clarkson. Yeah, we're on Clarkson with you guys there as well. So don't be afraid to throw your questions in there. We will get to all of them in the chat. We do appreciate, again, you guys popping in with us. Shooting guard. Top 2 guys here. Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, $92 and $9,100. Again, you and I were kind of falling over ourselves over the pricing on these 2 plays. And Anthony Edwards only 20%, Mitchell 15%. A lot of these value plays that we discussed at point guard have dual positional eligibility, so they're just getting sort of the carryover love when you can play 3 guards today with the 4 guards, technically with the util spot there as well. Do you got a lean Mitchell versus Edwards tonight?
I mean, my opinion is that Donovan Mitchell plays more minutes than Anthony Edwards tonight. I'm not a blowout guy, and I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. I said you've been no blowouts all season long, and now we're talking blowouts.
Dallas, second leg of a back-to-back, ruled out all of their centers. Not all of them. The Moose is loose. We'll talk about Cisse in a little bit, as the chat wants to desperately. They don't know what they're doing at point guard. They're half the time that they were like, let's play Brandon Williams. Actually, let's play D'Lo. No, let's play Brent. No, let's play D'Lo.
Yeah.
It's just a bad everything. And now they get this Minnesota.
They're only 14-point road dogs, while the Pelicans are 17.5-point home.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, one of them's facing possibly the start of a dynasty,
best
right?
team of all time. Yeah,
it could. I mean, in 5 years from now, I guess we'll have the answer to that. I lean Donnie. I will absolutely admit they're both great tournament plays. I think Donovan Mitchell is a super sneaky, underappreciated play tonight. Milwaukee's defense has been very creaky of late, and this is probably the best start to Donovan Mitchell's career. This would be a career high in scoring for Donovan Mitchell so far. Without Garland and Tyson, it's a 35% usage rate, nearly 1.4 fantasy points per minute. Really good pace to this game.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely a big fan of Mitchell here.
Yeah.
So I will lean the slightly lesser owned Donovan Mitchell. And I'll even go as far to say Anthony Edwards is my second or third favorite Timberwolf play tonight.
Okay. We'll get
Which
to that.
No slight on Edwards. I think Timberwolves obviously might score 167 points tonight, and that wouldn't shock me. But
I'm assuming there's a couple bigs you like in Minnesota, given the situation of this Dallas front court today.
One of them was the cover boy of today's playbook that you guys can find at fantasyalarm.com.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's work our way down here then. Murphy 79, Ingram, Powell, Bridges, Flag round out the 7K tier.
You know, it's a tier of guys that are
men who wear jerseys.
Like Murphy is in the worst spot ever and might have Zion back. Just hard to want to go there. Ingram has, you look at surface level stuff like really good usage, really good fantasy point per minute output. The price, I think, is where it draws the line. I don't know what the ceiling is at this price. Again, Raptors have the highest implied team total and no one's playing them. So if you want to be different, Ingram's fine. Norm, they just will not just randomly, they just decide okay, Norm, you're unstoppable. We're not going to play you more than 33 minutes. It's like, okay, sure. He's fine for tournaments. Just doesn't do a lot if he's not scoring. Bridges, I think it's a very interesting one for me because despite taking 21 shots and doing a lot of ball handling, he had a 21% usage last game. Definitely not what I wanted to see in 42 minutes and 21 shots.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. 7 steals drove the fantasy production. It was good to see 21 shots, but
yeah, and even when you look at, he had a better ball handling role. I mean, he had the most passes received. He didn't make the most passes. He was tied with Josh Hart in terms of potential assists. Both had 16 last game. Mm-hmm. So that's great to see. You love to see the playmaking for Bridges. So is it possible he plays 40 minutes again? Yes. Is it possible he shoots better? Absolutely. Is it possible he's more lucky converting assists? Yes, absolutely. The 7 steals obviously is a little bit of an anomaly. So I think if I'm picking anyone in that tier, it's probably him because the game environment.
You'll say you like him over Powell. I know Powell's been very scoring dependent, but obviously
yes.
Okay. Because you can kind of luck yourself into some secondary stats. You can't really luck yourself into 38 actual.
Yeah, but I think I'm more confident in the Bridges minutes. I'm more confident in potential assist conversions. Norm just doesn't do anything other than score. Yeah, they just don't ask him to do anything.
Score.
They just
here's the basketball. Put it in the hoop for us, please. We'll go there. All right. Well, Jaquez is getting the ownership on that team anyway. So he's 6,900. He has the dual positional eligibility. He had one lull game against Cleveland, who hasn't had that happen, and then he went for 23, 9, and 7 against the Knicks in this very same spot here. He obviously highlighted a lot of the matchup data between here. Jaquez himself has had double-digit potential assists in 5 straight games. He had 14 in that last game, came out of it with 7 assists. He's been a very efficient kind of assist-to-assist chance player this year, but at $6,900 at his ownership for today, which is around 20%. Do you find yourself plugging him in?
Yeah, I mean, he's firmly in play. He is first in potential assists without Bam. He's second in rebounds. Scoring is ticking up. He leads them in usage increase without Bam. There's a lot to like. 1.2 fantasy points per minute without Bam Adebayo on the floor. So yeah, he made the player pool in the playbook today.
Okay. So you don't seem too in love really with this top group. Where are we going to shooting guard then?
I mean, with the top group like Mitchell, Edwards, I'm like incredibly interested in.
Okay.
I think McHale is very solid. Like a lot of the point guard, shooting guard crossover is down here, like Clarkson and McBride and Bogdanovich. You can play all of those guys, point guard, shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a super low key play. I think this is a relatively bad position because like 6K, Grimes is going to have to potentially deal with Paul George. Nick Nurse said he's actually a game time decision. There's no confirmation that he's going to be on a limit when he's back, but like doesn't help Grimes. I guess the Oubre absence could, but like don't like the price going up on Quentin Grimes. Knipple, we saw the role just plummet with LaMelo back. Edgecombe, fine. Indifferent about him at 63. AJ Mitchell shifted back to the bench. Can he pay it off? Because blowout, yes. 6,300 feels like appropriately priced. The one guy I would truly have interest in and is not priced appropriately is Benedict Mathurin if there's no limit. Like if he comes back and they're like, yeah, he's good. Or if we get the Carlisle, what we got with the Nembhard stuff, like we'll monitor him heavily. If I hear that, oh, we're good.
He's playing 38 tonight.
We're good. They're just going to let Ben Mathurin cook. I don't have like strong inkling to play much of anything else than what's like already been talked about basically at the whole shooting guard spot.
All right. Yeah, obviously the Shamit's getting around 10%. On the preview show, I just threw out Merrill's name a few times at 4K. But yeah, there's really not much else unless there's some like drastic injury news to talk about. When we go to small forward, this is where the other highest rostered player on this slate exists because there's a dramatic pricing error with DeAndre Hunter being $4,500. I would imagine in single entry, we see him north of 60%.
Yeah.
We just get official word that Kobe Sanders will start tonight.
Hell yeah.
So that will obviously make a little bit of an impact on where we go. Kobe Sanders is
it will make a lot of impact.
$3,300, Kobe Sanders.
Yeah.
But DeAndre Hunter at the current moment is 48% rostered. And for good reason, because he's a $6,500 player and not a $4,500 player.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about this one too hard. Like the discussion of like fading DeAndre Hunter versus not is solely ownership based. That's it. Because he's going to be the highest roster player of the slate.
Yeah. And it's hard for him not to pay off his price. He has to like actually not score.
Basically. He had like he did in Memphis.
Right. It's pretty much like, and even then, like you can cash still with him scoring.
Because he's going to be 75% rostered.
Right.
In single entry and cash. And like how I'd approach it is if you're building multiple lineups in MME, sure. If you're playing cash and single entry, don't overthink it.
No, I would agree with you. Let's get to just quickly on the Kobe Sanders situation. $3,300. You mentioned him on the preview show as a guy that could certainly step in with all the injuries they had. Now it's confirmed. 3,300. Where does this ownership rocket to now?
I mean, high, because like the field is looking to play Karl Anthony Towns, and the field is looking to play James Harden, and the field is looking to, now potentially explore. Oh, I could play Giannis tonight. Or I could play Anthony Edwards with those other guys. And you're getting it's a relatively good spot. Kelly Oubre is one of their better perimeter defenders. He's not there. Possibly implementing Paul George, who obviously has very good defensive pedigree, but is going to be limited. Dominic Barlow was seen with starters jersey on this morning. Dominic Barlow, like there's a lot to kind of like about Kobe Sanders. He hasn't been that good per minute. Obviously just hasn't had a lot of per minute stuff to play. But
he's 3,300. So he's 18 fantasy points.
But he's 3,300. this is like a situation where in almost every scenario, Kobe Sanders plays high 20s minutes because he's going to get blowout run. They're the oldest team in the history of the NBA. Mm-hmm. So like Chris Paul and Brook Lopez are not playing in blowouts, and Nick Batum is not playing in a blowout.
Can't believe they have all three of those guys you just said on their team. So, like, I can't believe they have all three of those guys on your team.
They are the oldest team in the history of the NBA because of those three players and others. But Ivica Zubac is not playing in a blowout, and James Harden, of 40 minutes last night, is not playing in a blowout. But also, Kobe Sanders is starting, and he played like the whole second half yesterday in a non-blowout scenario. They lost the backup and the backup to the backup yesterday. There's just a lot to kind of like. You look at his college career, he didn't play like major D1, or he never really made it to like power conference, but his final year when he did play in like a big time D1, he was like a 16 point per game scorer, second round pick this year of the Knicks. Like, you know, he got drafted this year. There's pedigree behind it. He's not like an undrafted kid. So I have no doubt he'll get ownership. I am going to be plugging in a $3,300 starter. And then like the situation where he's starting and then they rule out Bogdanović after, it's really just all systems go. And Ty Lue is just going to say, play as much as you can tonight. Like, please, we need you to. So this isn't a hot take, like a $3,300 starting small forward that is going to play in every scenario is going to get a lot of ownership. And he should, especially he gets to play alongside one of the best playmakers in the NBA in James Harden. Like that is going to help. Yeah. This isn't a point guard being like, hey, please run the offense tonight. It's like, no, you
might take 15 threes, you know, right?
But he gets to operate with James Harden alongside of him. So yeah, I think it's pretty much plug and play at 3,300.
Right, so those are obviously the two going to be mega chalk here with.
And just to talk, we're going to talk, we can get Naquan Tomlin out of here. We can just talk about that ownership. All of his ownership that's going right now is going to be usurped by Kobe Sanders. So like, we don't need to talk about it. That's all gone. Like, I get he's in the rotation, whatever. That play is one of those, like, he's in the rotation and he's actually kind of good fantasy point per minute, but like, we now have a definitive punt at 3,300 starting. Like, we don't need to worry about the.
Yep. So again, those are your highest, going to end up being your highest small forwards. Everybody else is under 10% or in that range. It probably dips down a little bit more. Josh Hart, PJ Washington, Soar Thompson, which we don't have confirmation yet on. Are there any other small forwards that you're like keying in on tonight?
No. Lakota Bogey is not officially out, but he started the second half yesterday.
Yeah. They announced the starting lineup. It's Harden, Dunn, Sanders, Collins, and Zubac. So
yeah, so they are simply starting. Like, Sanders is gonna float between multiple positions tonight, just with how depleted they are. You know, like it's a really good spot. I know they called Telfort up from the G League. So they have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they still have 12 guys. Yeah, I'm pretty good with the Kobe Sanders one. I like that he's starting. Yeah, Batum 30 piece incoming. Yeah, if Batum scores 30 points tonight, I will give out 5 fantasy alarms. Not fantasy points, 30 actual. I'll give out 5 fantasy alarm subscriptions.
Okay. We'll note that down for your next page.
No, please do. If he scores 30 actual, I'll give away 5 fantasy alarm monthly subscriptions for sure.
But
like, there's like Josh Hart would probably be the one like tournament dart I would take a shot on. He was tied with Bridges for potential assists. He had 16 in that game last time out. He was in the closing lineup. He was second in potential rebounds. Not a high usage player, but like we know this all too much, right? Josh Hart, mid 30s minutes. Love to see it. Probably not gonna. He's still not gonna start, but
no. But the ability to fill the stat sheet is always nice for him there. So, all right. Anything else you want? Do we want to talk Dallas? I mean, is Dallas in the conversation here?
About what?
Oh,
PJ?
Yeah, PJ. I mean, the rebounding upside for him is going to be huge tonight.
Is it?
I mean, it should.
Are there going to be misses?
There could be.
I'm okay with it. Obviously, like if that game stays competitive, PJ Washington's playing 40 minutes,
and he's probably a huge reason.
And he's a reason as to why.
Okay, him and like Najee Marshall are obviously down here. Najee's 55.
Well, the thing with Najee, they ruled
Mathurin available.
Ooh. They ruled out the centers. Like they didn't rule out anything else, you know?
Like, I know, but I mean, if they decide to play PJ at the 5, you know, like and rotate around.
So the Rick Carlisle answer, by the way,
yeah,
was so here it is. They asked him if Benedict Mathurin was playing. He said, "quote I hope so. I hope so. I don't know what the minutes are going to look like. Got to watch it. He's done well with his rehab and the ramp up. Hasn't had setbacks." It is literally the most non-answer. Like
I don't know how you can confidently play him tonight. So,
well, Rick Carlisle doesn't even know if he's going to play. This is Doc Rivers.
I don't know how you're confidently playing Mathurin with any of that information. He's going to play 35
I hope
go for 60. So,
well, this is going to be the last time he's going to be this price.
Probably. You actually have to kind of hope he only plays 22 minutes so they keep him down. Yeah. Or who knows? Maybe they give him $4,500 next slate. Never, anything's possible these days. All right, Giannis is 11-8 at power forward here. Obviously, now that there is a $3,300 play, it's more possible to get to him tonight in this matchup.
I hope so. What a hilarious answer. Per the Pacers, he's officially in. Yeah. Per the Pacers Twitter.
Yeah. No, I said that. I said Mathurin's in. They just don't know what he's going to do.
No, I know. I just thought they were basing it off the Carlisle response. But the Pacers Twitter said he's in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sure.
I'm laughing that Rick Carlisle said, I hope so. It's like Doc Rivers being asked, like, oh, I don't know if Giannis is playing. It's like, what do you mean you don't know if he's playing? You're the coach.
Yeah.
Or Embiid. Was it Embiid? He was the coach.
Embiid.
It was Embiid, right?
Yeah, the Doc is Embiid playing today. He's like, I don't know. I have to talk to him.
It's like 6:30, games at 7.
Yeah, insane. All right. So again, Giannis 11-8. There's going to be more money to get to him, so you obviously can get there if you want to. Great player. Obviously, like there's no matchup that's really tough for him, but you know, Mobley and Allen are two of the better defenders in the front court in the NBA, so there will be some at least. But everybody's just trying to get to Towns at $9,500.
Yeah.
240 total, 1 point spread, big pace up spot, coming off 39 and 11. Honestly, he's capable of more. As we've talked about, when the current version of this team is there, he is more of like an 11K player than a $9,500 player. You know, plenty of reasons to get to him, plenty of reasons that he's 40% tonight. So not a fade for me. He is firmly in the lineup.
Quote, everyone's going to play Carl. Hell, I'm playing Carl too. End quote. You know who said that? Me today in the NBA DFS playbook you can find at fantasyalarm.com. With some other stuff that I won't leak because you can, you know, become a subscriber and all that good stuff. But yeah, season high in minutes, season high in points, season high in shots, season high in 3-point volume, pace up spot, the whole 9. You don't need to spend up Giannis when you have a 10K spend up right here in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely true. He is such an elite play. And at $9,500, it's an elite price. You want to work your way down? You have Julius Randle. Guy's pretty decent, $8,100.
He is pretty decent.
Wrote him up today in the Pick'em article with his PRA. I took the over 35.5 on that tonight. So
he is the cover of my playbook today.
I saw that just now.
He leads them in potential assists or in November. I was just looking because this is about when the time like he started going nuclear and they started to click as well. Leads them in potential assists, second on the team in potential rebounds behind Rudy Gobert, is obviously second on the team in usage behind Edwards, and it's at 28%. He also leapfrogged Anthony Edwards on a per minute fantasy point per minute basis. He is now, and now they're both over 1.4, but Randall has squeaked past him and is $1,000 cheaper. So like, it's really just a lock and load spot for me. He's also the reason why I was saying to you, there was why Edwards wasn't my favorite play on Minnesota. It's Julius Randle.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm fully on board with that. Again, I wrote up his 35.5 PRA for tonight, a number he's cleared pretty consistently. His point prop was also only 21.5, another number that he's cleared pretty consistently. And then we talked about it. Front court defense isn't going to be a strong suit for Dallas here tonight. So looking pretty good. Evan Mobley, again, another Cleveland player that feels mispriced. He's also getting a lot of ownership because he's only $7,800 instead of the mid to high 8s and low 9s that he's been all season long. How much Mobley are you getting to today?
Before we answer that, crowd, we see all your comments. Please, you don't need to type them more than once in chat. We are going position by position. We are going to get to Musa Cisse in a few when we get to center. He is a center. We will get there. Please have patience. We are going position by position. We will talk about him. I think Mobley is very solid. It's definitely another Cleveland guy, as you mentioned, that's a little too cheap. I think like even the low end of his projection, he's still over 5x at $7,800. Like the Giannis matchup is obviously something, but there's a lot to like in this spot. Like, obviously the foul trouble is one thing. The way that Giannis plays keeps Mobley closer to the basket more often than not. Milwaukee's one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. They're 29th in that category or 30th in that category. It's a really good spot, really good double-double spot for Mobley. Milwaukee's defense has, I mentioned atop the show, 22nd in the league in defensive rating. So there's a reason why Donovan Mitchell is not getting a lot of ownership, and it's hard to want to get to a bunch of it's not what I mean, Harden, that. But we are going, he has mentioned Musa Cisse 4 times. So
we're working on it.
We're getting there. We are getting there. I think because Mobley and Hunter's price are what they are, they're more of a prioritization than Mitchell has in terms of ownership. So
sure.
I think Mobley is the second best Cleveland play per dollar. Mitchell's the best tournament one option, I think, of the 3.
Yeah, for sure. We did just get an ownership update. Mobley's actually overtaken Towns at the moment.
Oh boy.
For that, and I still think some of these numbers are gonna kind of move around. So Sanders didn't get a major bump. Hunter got a little bit more now.
I could see why people would kind of stay away because you just have the DeAndre Hunter thing there. You don't need to go anywhere.
Don't need to force it.
You don't need to force it. You could just play an elite value play. Sorry, I didn't mean. By the way, I didn't mean to jump down your throat, Crow. Harden's being,
he's joking.
He's joking. But it is we don't need to ask repeatedly, and you don't need to capitalize. You're yelling at us. You don't need to capitalize it. We know we're getting there.
We're getting there.
And it's okay. We appreciate your support.
Nas is the next guy getting ownership again.
Yes.
Both members of the Minnesota front court here. Reed coming off the bench, but having some really good games. And again, you're talking point spreads here. If this game doesn't stay close, Reed could be in for some extra run. He doesn't get like full blowout run, but just could end up being a spot where Dallas doesn't need to go up against Gobert. They just go up against Nas Reed instead.
Yeah, our previous blowout king, Luka Garza, no longer here. Nas Reed still doesn't get it. But the minutes have trended up regardless. A little bit of fool's gold last game with the Rudy Gobert foul trouble. Then Nas Reed fouled out himself. So just foul, playing Nikola Jokic in the NBA is just not a fun time. But he's just a good fantasy player. As the minutes trend up, 21.5% usage, almost 1.1 fantasy points per minute. The price tag is really trending in the right direction. So definitely like some Nas Reed.
Andrew asked Towns or Mobley. We're going Towns here, but
it's Carl for sure. There's obviously a good case to just play them both at the Mobley price, right? If I'm picking between them, it's Carl.
Sure. You mentioned Barlow was getting the starter's jersey. He was obviously really good in the last game. He's had some really good games opening the season, and then he got hurt, and we hadn't seen him in a long time. So really, the 2 games that he has played full healthy games, he's been good. 5K Barlow, any interest? No? Okay. Just worried about Paul George?
I'm just worried about Dominic Barlow being Dominic Barlow.
Okay.
I have nothing against Dominic Barlow, other than the fact that he has no business being 5K.
Well, that's probably a fairer assessment of him.
That's true. I just have I'm playing DeAndre Hunter for 4,500. I'm not playing Dominic Barlow for 5K.
Okay.
Unless you told me tonight, Tyrese Maxey got
Hunter's
stuck
not
in
supposed to be $4,500. So
and Dominic Barlow is not supposed to be 5K.
Well, 2 full games he's played, he's worthy of 5K. But I hear you. I get where you're going with it. All right. Anything else? Was there anything else here, power forward?
Everyone just coming to chat. The first question's why is DeAndre Hunter the price he is? No one has the answer, Sway.
If you watch the preview show, our jaws collectively dropped when we saw it. It's a mistake. You're just going to have
PJ
to play him.
It's the a lesser PJ Washington from earlier in the year.
What's a Barlow? That's a Dominic Barlow there. Accuracy. That's a good game.
I don't know any
like that.
I don't know any other professional. Scott Barlow, is that a relief pitcher?
That sounds like a pitcher for the Pirates or something like that.
Scott Barlow is definitely a relief pitcher. Long hair, I want to say.
Yeah,
Reds?
long hair for the Reds. Long hair
Nailed
for
it.
the Reds.
Bang, got it.
Yeah. So. Was he ever a Pirate, or he's a Royal? Pitch for the Royals.
Nailed it.
Royals, Padres, Guardians, Reds. Never a Pirate. Dodgers organization.
Okay. Harden, if he doesn't hit value, then someone needs to be investigated. Then the investigation starts. If DeAndre Hunter just gives everyone 35 fantasy points tonight, like he can do, no investigation needs to be had. But if he goes out there and gives you 16 minutes, comes down with a knee injury in the second half, investigation needs to be started tonight.
Yeah.
I'll tag FBI on Twitter. Don't say I
who
won't.
Do we trust more, Randall or Towns? Towns for me.
Big Cat.
But I like them both.
They're great.
Actively trying to play them both. Honestly, I think our preview lineup had them both, so I don't really discriminate there. All right, center position. Duran again is obviously just in a ridiculously good spot here.
Let's start with Cisse today.
Okay.
Let's
satisfy the masses. We'll start with
Let's go to Cisse. Go to Cisse. He's obviously earned playing time. Sorry, I didn't mean to just cut you off like that, but we just go. It's
okay. No, it's cool.
From the start of the show, the Rolodex is all about Cisse today. They're down 2 centers. It's a 14.5 point spread. He has played. Scroll up a little bit. Get a little scroll. He has played regardless, gotten time he's been pretty good, like per minute, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Super active basketball player. John, your favorite type archetype, right?
Who is the Dallas center that went off that one time, got a bag, and then they released him like shortly afterwards?
Willie Cauley-Stein?
No, but like same era. It was like a few years back. He also had a stint with the Celtics.
Nerlens Noel.
No, Nerlens Noel turned down the bag.
He turned down the bag. Oh.
No, someone in the chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. He was like a min-price center. He like popped off, I think, against the Celtics. They gave him like a full contract and then basically cut him like later on in the year. You guys will help me out. I'm 6 minutes behind. Thanks for saying my name.
You're a lot more than 6 minutes behind if you're just getting to that now.
Nah, not Hassan Whiteside. No, not him. Dallas center a few years back.
I'll my only polls I had Cauley-Stein, Nerlens Noel, the crazy guy last year from the Hornets, Kai Jones.
No, we'll figure it out.
Okay, Dwight Powell. He's been there.
He's been there forever.
He's been there. So like this is your archetype. Moses Brown.
Yeah,
Warren. Always can count on Warren, dude. You always
Warren pulled it. Here. Kenneth got it too. Moses Brown. Yeah, Moses Brown had literally like one huge game.
Yep.
They gave him like a full contract, like, and then they're just like, we don't need you anymore.
We don't know who we don't know who Cantor is.
Ennis Cantor was a great on the floor basketball player for fantasy.
What about Ennis Freedom? Now think of what is it? How about Ennis Freedom? Great wrestler. Ball knower.
I'm loving everybody's popping in here saying Moses Brown. It's 100% Moses Brown. The guy balled out for 48 hours, got a bag, never to be seen again.
I'm excited for
10 days every now and then. So
yeah, I'm excited for special master of documentation to give us that answer when we log off. When we're logged off, yeah. So I think Cisse is, there's a lot to like, right? He's in the rotation. Dwight Powell is your other center. They can elect to go small. That seems like a terrible idea. You're going up against Minnesota. They run double big all game. In the scenario that there's a blowout, Cisse is on the floor as well. So like you have your bases covered. If you were to ask me, John, truthfully, between Cisse and like Kobe Sanders, if you were punting one of them, I would probably go Cisse. I think that there's just less here for Dallas. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good value, and the ownership is, there as well. Obviously, center versus small forward, like you can play Sanders in more spots, and I think center is pretty good from top to bottom today. I mean, you started on Duren, and we could circle back there. It's a really good center spot. So like I like Cisse, but I like Duren. There's a massive ceiling. I think Zubats looks excellent. Like a guy who's going to get you 40 fantasy points and no one cares. He's our nobody cares Jose Ramirez baseball reference. He's going to get you 40 fantasy points and nobody literally cares on the whole planet. But he's a really good play. Everyone's playing Khalil Ware today, and I understand it. Because if Khalil Ware could Eric Spoelstra was just asked by the media or about Khalil Ware. He's like, "Yup, stacking good days." You want to talk about something we haven't heard Eric Spoelstra like ever say about Khalil Ware, like ever give him any credit? He is absolutely stacking good days. So, I think Khalil Ware looks amazing, and so does the field. Drummond is a good play, like just safe play. We talked Jakob Poeltl earlier. The minutes and the production has been amazing. No one wants to play Jakob Poeltl again. Like nobody cares.
I think they see the minutes and get worried, honestly. I think that might be the reason, but he's been really good.
Dude, if you look at these games, it's a deceiving. There's some deceiving ends here. The Brooklyn game wasn't close. He would have played more than 30 minutes. The Cleveland game was a blowout. The Indiana game was a blowout. They took the starters out. Like there's more to like kind of meat on the bone here for Poeltl. So I would get to Jakob Poeltl here again. No one's playing, so it's just a really good. It's a really good position.
I agree with you 100%. I just want to point out that the Moses Brown game was against the Celtics. 21 points, 23 rebounds. He was a member of the Thunder at the time, and then very next day they signed him to a 4-year deal for $6.8 million, and then he was cut. They said thank you for your service. Now he ended up starting a good amount of games for them that year, but that was basically it for Moses Brown. After that, bunch
of Paul George is
upgraded to probable. Paul George. Playing any of these other guys down here? Derek Queen. We had a question on Derek Queen earlier. And Carl Kreiner
another
a few times as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the Derek Queen thing is fascinating because we don't know what's happening with Zion. But what we do know is that he was basically in a split with Misi until blowout last night, where they both played. But what I said about Jeremiah Fears applies to Derek Queen. He started and then closed in a blowout, which is once again live to happen. Obviously, we don't really have an idea how the fit is going to work with Zion. But if you do remember that second game of the year or third game of the year, whatever it was, against San Antonio, guess who played a lot of minutes in that game? Zion. Guess who also played a lot of minutes in that game? Derek Queen. Yeah. So if at least we know there's like a sample of both of them having success together and both played 30 plus minutes in that game. I don't hate Derek Queen. Dude, we said it. You deemed him dead in the water last night. And I said, I leaked course on you.
He had 1 point.
No, I know. But Derek Queen is giving us no reason to
ever give
deem him dead with how fast he just accrues fantasy points. Because he's a very skilled passer and just playmaker in general.
Maybe
so,
Zion, yeah.
Little more range. And then the
father narrative for Carl Kreiner.
Yeah, he's not sleeping.
He's got extra strength now.
No, he has no strength. He's not able to sleep.
Dad strength's the real thing. All right, we got to.
No, it is not. I know you don't sleep.
Why is Cade more than SGA? Because he took 58 shots the last time he played.
Cade is I mean, he plays 40 minutes. Like that is not indicative of like if you're ranking them per like who is right now the better player. Like obviously you're gonna, but SGA's played 29 minutes in like 5
Cade is
games.
in, I'd rather spend the extra $200 for Cade than SGA.
Yeah, I agree. Bogdanovich playing as well.
Bogdanovich is in. We had a couple questions. Mobley and Cisse or Sanders and Drummond? I'd probably go the Mobley Cisse route there.
Yes, I would too. I am a little less bullish on Sanders. I was kind of hoping Bogdan wouldn't play. I kind of thought that was what it was trending to, but
Casey's in here saying he's playing Harden tonight. We're good with that.
Dude, love James Harden.
Good with the Harden play.
Love James Harden.
Yep. Alrighty, let's get our lineup build going here then.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
And Hunter.
Just play the
Cisse, Hunter.
Value point guard.
This is what every DFS player in the world is
starting their lineups right now. I mean, if we wanted to get really interesting, we just go to Sanders. It's $7,200 a player here.
I already know what you're lining up here, and I don't like it.
You don't know anything. You don't know one.
You're absolutely going to click on one of the long syllable players.
McBride, Clarkson, or Shamet. I'm going Clarkson, Anthony of that crew, but I'll let Grande be the decision maker on that one.
Oh boy. I do like if it's a cash game, I would say Miles McBride. If it's a large field, I would say Clarkson. And I think in single entry, I still would probably play Clarkson. But in a cash game, I would probably play McBride. If that's what, I don't know what format we're looking for here, Anthony. But in tournament, I'd play Clarkson.
All right, friends. Point guard, Garden, utility remain. Mitchell, Hunter, Towns, Sissy, and Sanders is where we're going right now. For those of you maybe new to the show, we put the rest of the lineup in our Discord. You can find the link to the Discord in the description of the YouTube show. You can also go to fantasystorm.com, create a free account. In your My Profile page, there is a connect button. You can join our Discord from there as well. If you want access to our premium channels where we go and talk a lot about today's slate, you can do so right now. 50% off the first month, $19.99 for the first month. It includes all content, not just NBA, but NFL, NHL, MMA, huge MMA card last weekend, PGA, when NASCAR comes around. It's 50% off for that first month. All DFS, all betting, and all seasonal content as well. FantasyAlarm.com/YouTube, promo code YT50 to take advantage of that offer. Again, 50% off, pays for ourselves. We're up over 70 units betting NFL this year. All of our picks are in our expert pick tracker, so you can know that we're telling the truth. We're not just making these things up. So you can make that money back tonight. I got 4 plays for tonight's NFL slate. I got 4 plays for tonight's NBA slate and 2 NHL picks as well for all of you guys over in the expert pick tracker for you guys to make some money along with tonight's NBA DFS content. So we do appreciate y'all tuning in. Grande, what's up?
When did you have time to go to the bathroom?
I didn't. I wrote 10 articles.
You looked, it's very concerning that you looked down before answering that question. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like the fact that you looked down before answering that, but I'm just going to put that out there.
There's no bucket there. I was going
to, we don't know by the look of things. We're not sure.
Andrew, if you are in the Discord, go to the NBA DFS channel, as I see through you says there, and the example line will be going there. If you're not in the Discord and you can't, figure out how to join, send a message to support@fantasyalarm.com, where you guessed it, I'll be there to answer your question because I do that too. So again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Did we ever get to 100 likes? We got to 80. How many likes did we get to? 86. You guys shorted us 14. It's okay. We love you anyways. And also 27% of you say you don't watch us every day. What's that about? We do shows every day. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I threw a poll up there to see how many of you guys tune in each day. 27% said they don't, but that's okay. Sadiq Bey downgraded. This is what happens when we stay a little late today, Grande. Something's changing in the New Orleans Pelicans.
Something's in the water.
All right, guys. We got to run. We'll catch you later. Good luck. Preview show comes out around 10 o'clock tonight, so we'll get ready for Tuesday with you.